Welcome back to the Strength and Speed Podcast. I'm your host, Strength and Speed owner and Conquer the Gauntlet Pro, Evan Preparis. I got two guests with me on the line. Back in action, I have Brenna Red Beast Calvert. Brenna, welcome.
Welcome. I'm grinning from ear to ear. I'm so excited.
I don't even know the last time we've had you on the podcast. It's been a long time, but welcome back.
Yeah, we'll just say blame 2020.
All right. And then we have Conquer the Gauntlet Pro, Ashley Samples. Ashley, welcome back.
Hey, thanks. It's been probably just as long, if not longer, for me.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about this episode, so we're going to dive right into it. We're going to be talking about InsideTracker, which this episode is brought to you by. So we're not going to do the introduction about InsideTracker like we normally do. We're just going to jump into that later on in the episode. We're going to talk about the first race one of the first races that Brenna and Ashley did for 2021, OCR Overload. I keep wanting to say Overlord. And they're part of I think a loose affiliation with several other races. One of them, Hildervit Jack's Beach, coming up in May. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then on top of that, Brenna's been doing 75 hard, kind of like a personal challenge to kind of get yourself back into a fitness-focused lifestyle. And we're also going to mention a little bit about Battle of the Lions and my upcoming challenge, OCRmill 21,000 feet, and some other big news if you're following my social media that I just posted the other day. So
I'm so excited.
So let's start off with the race you guys did. So OCR Overload. Ashley, tell us a little bit about the race, and then Brenna, feel free to jump in.
Well,
yes.
Actually, can I wait before you start about the race, just to clarify real fast, because I feel like they're getting it a lot, because I was so confused. They're their own race series. OCR Overload is their own thing. They're just friends with their other Florida affiliates, and they both have nonprofit affiliation. Money goes to the same, like a gym and foundation there in Florida, and they brought obstacles to each other's race. So that's how they're not combined and not doing things together officially. They want to do cool things for the sport, and they play nice together, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, take it away, Ashley.
Same thing goes on in the Midwest between Frontline OCR, Highland OCR, and then Abominable Snow Race. And there might be one other one mixed in there.
Yeah. Which is cool. They all just cross-promote, and it's, good for the sport, good for us.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Why, if you're only doing one event a year, why would you not team up with someone else to share contact lists and to promote at each other's event, right? It just makes too much sense. I'm actually surprised a lot of other brands haven't done that. Oh, Ohio does it also with the Ohio Grand Slam, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mud Ninja, which I think is no longer operating. And
Indian
Mud Run, Black Swamp Dash, Black Diamond OCR, which also is no longer operating. Jason left that assignment. Jason left that job, so he was kind of the driving force behind it, and so I think it just kind of fell to the wayside since he left. So I haven't seen him post anything.
Man, sidetracked already. Woo, look at us go.
All right, Ashley, take it away.
Yeah, so I guess for me, you could say it was a local race. It was here in Florida. It was actually about a 2.5-hour drive from where I live in Central Florida. And I decided to drive up the morning of, and everybody kept saying, oh, it's going to be terrible. It's going to rain all weekend. And so on the way there, the weather was beautiful. And I was like, oh, it's 63 degrees. It's going to be great. And the further north I drove, the colder it got and the colder it got. And by the time I was about a mile from the race site, it started just dumping buckets. It was pouring. It was I think 45 degrees. And just totally different from when I left home that morning. So the weather definitely played a huge part on event day for many racers, and I'm sure for the race director and, everybody that he had as far as volunteers go and things like that. So it was a sloppy day, but it was a very fun event, and I would definitely go to that race again. And I do plan to go to some of their other affiliated races.
So tell us what was the distance, number of obstacles, and then like signature obstacles?
Okay, so the distance was, and Brenna, you're going to have to correct me here because my watch stopped at some point within the first mile of the race. So I don't know the official distance. I believe it was 4-point-some miles.
Yeah, well, it was right at 4, but it was kind of funny. We can go into it too, that the guys ran like almost a full mile or like 3/4 of a mile less than us.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, because it's hard to know what the official course distance was, and I believe the girls were a lot closer than the guys were.
We did the harder stuff, that carry, that first one. Oh,
and we're clearly better at directions. So
oh, thank you.
The guys took off first, 15 minutes before the women for social distancing and whatnot. So, like I said, the whole place, it was flooded, it was muddy, it was at a dirt bike track or motorsports. I don't know what the correct term, motorsport course. So it was super muddy. So for the first little bit, we were kind of running through the guys' footsteps, and all of a sudden their footsteps disappeared, and we sort of went off on what we thought was the correct path. And I think a lot of that was due to the amount of rain and mud. Some of the tape got pushed under the mud and things like that. So
yeah, you could tell they tried taping. I mean, there was tape on like both sides and up above, but I think what they say, there's like 6 inches of rain, right? Like I'd say flash flood almost, right before and during like the start of the race in the morning of.
Yeah, it was sloppy. So yeah, I'd say 4 miles, and number of obstacles was a lot. I mean, I thought it felt very Conquer the Gauntlet-ish, like with how the obstacles were spaced, and they would have areas of just like back to back to back to back obstacles. And their obstacles were great, very, very well built, solid structure, creative. Like, I think that's probably the best Florida race I've been to, at least in a very long time.
Give us some of the examples of some of the obstacles.
They had a number of rigs. They had a low rig. They had the Force 5 Gibbons. They had they had a bunch of different rigs. I can think of 1, 2, 3, at least 3 rigs.
Nice.
And that doesn't include the low rig, so 4 rigs.
There's the ring rig.
Yeah, there are those ones over in the Highlander area that were like pipe, trapeze and pipe and rings, and there was another one shortly after that had like a cargo net on the rig, as well as some rings and ropes. So there was a lot of, upper body taxing obstacles.
Twister.
Oh yeah, the Twister as well.
Right after Gibbons.
Yes, immediately after.
Followed by the low rig.
Yeah, so like, those were...
Didn't it remind you of how, like, the combination of, like, XTC Timber Challenge, like, they set up, like, a combo race where there was an area that was swamp battle obstacles, and then there was an area that was the Hildervat, so they kind of, like, showcased, had, like, their own little section, which was kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, they did. I thought that was really neat, because then you kind of, it at least kind of gave you a preview of the other races and maybe what to expect there as well. So that was really fun. I loved one of my favorite obstacles, and it was like, it's nothing fancy, so to speak, but they had a like board bridge, kind of like, how at the carnival you see those bridges that is like a ladder that's tippy and you have to, climb across it like that, but you walk across it, and they had like a just straight rope above your head you could use for support. But something about that, it was just like in the middle of the woods. It was like, it took me back kind of to the beginning of obstacle course racing. and just
fun.
something you don't see all the time. Yeah, it was really fun.
That's what I love about some of these local brands is like there's no there's no rules, right? They can literally do whatever they want. They can put as many obstacles on the course as they want, and it's typically not standardized if they're only holding one or a couple events a year, so they can color outside the lines real nice. And a mainstream brand would have to like get approval, and they have these like big rollout of obstacles and blah blah blah. But it's just a smaller brand can just pivot on the spot and come up with something literally the week of and adjust things. So
yeah, it was great. Even the ending, it was very, I would say it was kind of Indian mud run-ish at the end, because you know how they have like their grand finale, rock climbing wall rig contraption to the finish. That was the same kind of feel that they had at OCR Overload. They had like a giant multi-rig, of monkey bars to rock climb walls, and just like a long finish obstacle, which made it really fun.
Cool. And now what's their next we said they're an affiliated series. Like what's the next affiliate race that's coming up?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Can I chime in for a minute? Because I got to meet, I was really excited. I met and kind of introduced myself to Aaron Frank, who is owner of OCR Overload. And that race, like Ashley said, awesome. And they are doing another event this year, will be July 10th and 11th, so Saturday and Sunday. It'll be OCR Overload again. It's supposed to be, I think, longer, like closer to 10K, double the amount of obstacles. He mentioned, so like Ashley was talking about the gauntlet, like the finish obstacle it was like monkey bars to like rock wall to rig to hanging walls. He said that's going to be like double the length, which is just exciting. So like getting set up for, I don't know how excited Ashley and I both, I think, feel like that was a great event that they have one in July. So hopefully Florida weather will be a bit better come July, because I traveled from Kansas expecting great temperatures, and like Ashley said, it was awful. And then, so she was talking all about the upper body and like rig things. Let's not mention she probably hated them, but there was like so many carries. There
That's
was
true.
a like farmer style carry with cement things. Were they on chains or ropes that we carried through the mud?
It was on like fireman's hose, I think, or something like
they
that.
were like straps, yeah. And then there was a sandbag, whether it was like a rec bag, brute force type bag carry, and then there was like a tied sandbag. There was another
tire drag.
The tire drag was full of water and mud. I mean, so they had all kinds of strength things mixed in there. There were walls. There was something fun, like this was part of Hildervat. I think it might be their logo. They had an axe throw, which was kind of cool. Like the bars that people are going to with like axe throwing. You picked up an axe, threw it, and then if you missed, they had like a tiny little penalty loop. So that was cool and different. And then, yeah, like you were asking what's next for the other series. I think that's what Ashley was saying. She's going Hildervat on May 22nd, and that's Jack's Beach. I'm going too, but they were there, the owners of that. Pretty cool. I don't know. I'm really excited because I think it's going to be similar type obstacles, but I've heard it's a shorter course, loop style on the beach. So like sand running, more short course, crowd friendly, like stadium style event, but outdoor, not in a stadium. So that's kind of like totally different course, but similar obstacles.
Cool. And I'm tracking, there's a bunch of big Spartan names going to that. Or did you see that post?
Well, that's what they're doing. So it's totally different. Like, okay, on Saturday, it's your normal setup, elite open wave race going on. There's elite prizes involved. Like they've got really good prizes. Riverbend CBD, I think, is involved. Cash prizes. And then along with that, they invited 6 pro men, 6 pro female, invite only. Like Lauren, I don't know. They're announcing them right now. They haven't finished announcing. So Atkins, I think, who did we see? Rebecca, but they're going to race on Saturday. The 6 will go head to head, and they break it down bracket style. So it goes down to like 4. And then on Sunday, I think 2 and then 1. So like Sunday's event is just, I'm pretty sure, maybe there's open wave stuff, I don't know. But Sunday is mainly spotlighting the pros and like the final round of that. And there's like huge, like big prize money for them.
Cool.
Nicole Miracle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at their I'm looking at their Facebook page right now. So far, they've announced VJ Jones, Ryan Woods, and Aaron Newell for the men, and they've announced Lindsay Webster, Nicole Miracle, and Rebecca Hammond for the females. And there's, like you said,
I think like they're asking who else you think should be there, but I mean, it's pretty cool. That's like going to be spectator-friendly, exciting event for the season, I think.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it sounds like they got a good...
At first, I was confused. I thought it was like pros only. I was like the rest of us didn't have a chance at the money. I was like, how rude.
Sounds like they got a good thing going, and Florida's always had a pretty good local OCR scene. You know, between Ohio, I'd say is probably right up there too. So sounds like you guys got a good thing going down in Florida. All right, any final thoughts before we transition? We got a lot of other stuff to talk about.
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
I think yeah.
So let's jump into Brenna. You were doing something called 75 Hard, which I've seen several other people in the Strength and Speed group do. Right, I've seen Leah Hensley do it, and Chris Balvin, and I think one or two others. But give us a quick rundown of what that is and how it's been going.
Yeah. So I saw Leah doing it all last year. Followed and tracked on social media. At first, you basically just see like progress pictures of people and they're doing 75 hard challenge and working out and doing crazy things. I thought, oh, cool, a challenge. These people are getting ripped and shredded, fun. And then there's a part where it's like no alcohol for 75 days. And if you mess up, you start over. And I was like, yeah, I'm not ready to do that. Negative. This was last year watching. Also, there's a diet plan. So it was cool. And then I was like, nah. Well, end of last year, I got more, I don't know, just was ready. I needed a mental reset. I was over everything. So I was following them on social media. Leah went all year round. It like goes longer than the 75 days. And I finally like went to Google and Googled 75 Hard and go to the website. And it's actually a program written by Andy Frizella. I can't pronounce his last name. And the website tells you more details about what it is. I was like, oh, this isn't just a physical challenge. This is like actually a mental toughness challenge. Like that's the basis of it. And then it instructed, there's a book called 75 Hard, Winning the Tactical War with Yourself. I'll have to find the book actually. And I started reading the book, and that's what really like sold me on doing it and thinking, okay, I can actually do this. So what the program is for 75 days, it's a mental reset, toughness, grit. Can you do this? There's daily tasks that you have to complete, all the tasks every day. And if you miss one task, then you start over from day one. And some of them are tiny tasks, some of them are big. So you have to drink 1 gallon of water a day. You have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book a day. Can't listen to it. You have to read it. It can be read on like a Kindle or whatever. What else? You have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. One of them has to be outside. And you have to be like done with purpose. And it doesn't matter the weather. So that's fun right now. And then follow a diet. It doesn't tell you what diet to follow. You just pick a diet. So it kind of depends on you. I ate like crap. I ate fried food, all this stuff. So I basically went on my Luke Labonte meal plan that he gave for me. No fried food, and gave up all of my sugar, candy, sweets, Dr. Pepper, and no cheat meals, no alcohol. So yeah, it's crazy. But the other thing is you have to take a progress picture every day too. And it sounds stupid, but like basically if you don't take the picture one day, you start over from day one. And like that sounds stupid, but when you read the book, it breaks down every task and it tells you like there's a reason, an actual legit reason why taking a picture matters. And it's not to like see the physical change. It's to do something menial and tiny and pay attention to a detail every day. you read 10 pages of nonfiction book, it has to be nonfiction, basically feeding your mind. But if you read 9 pages or forget to read one day, you have to start over. So yeah, it's been crazy. I started December 10th and I made it 15 days and failed on my way to Atlanta for Christmas. I thought I'd fail when I got there for drinking alcohol, but it was actually the drive. Consuming 1 gallon of water while driving 14 hours is really hard. So that's stupid, but that's how I failed. So I started over after Christmas. Yeah, I waited until the 2nd of the year, and I am on day 46. It's crazy. I don't know. Like, I feel mentally alert, aware. I love the reading. These books. I did one self-help book and no more. It was terrible. It was like.
Is that the one I hate? Like, I don't want to trash this girl's book on air.
Yeah, I'm not, exactly. I'm not going to say whatever. Some people are following my journey.
I hate it. I hate that book.
I mean, gave it to me because he hated it.
I didn't give it. I started reading it.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't read it yet, so I can't hate it yet.
It's just like, do good things for yourself and you'll be happy. Like, self-help, I'm sorry. It works for certain people, not me. So I've been reading a bunch of like sports psychology, and that's perfect right now. So I'm kind of working on like my mental game, which you guys know me personally, and that's probably the biggest help to myself I could do right now. And it's awesome. The first 2 races I've gone into just like fun and total new mental outlook. But I'm also mentally losing it. I'm not going to lie. This is like the craziest, toughest thing. I recommend it to a lot of people. You have to read the book first, but I also wouldn't recommend it. I don't know. Like, I started it and I didn't know what I was going to get out of it or what I wanted out of it. And last night, day 45, I called Tracy and I said I was done. I posted today that I tried quitting last night. I want to eat what I want. I thought like this would go away, but I want to eat like some bad shit, and I don't want to worry about starting over, but like I'm having really bad sleeping. I haven't been sleeping enough. My recovery is failing right now. I was doing good, but now that I've started racing, so like last night I hit this mental wall and I was just like, I'm going to ruin my start of my race season. I don't want that. I've gotten what I wanted out of it. Like I can stop. I'm going to keep working out. Like right now, I just want to keep doing the workouts and the drinking the water and the reading. I just don't want to worry about starting over. So this was all going on last night. And I called Tracy and I was like, I'm done. What do you want to eat? Let's get pizza. Let's get Chinese. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm tired of stressing over it. This is like losing the purpose. And he said, well, I've got to drive blah, blah, blah far away. I'm not going to be home for supper. And I said, well, shit. Okay, I guess. Never mind, I'll eat my freshly meal that I have in the fridge. Screw that, I guess. And it made me finish the day, like check off all the tasks completed. So I finished the day. And as soon as I was done, I go, oh my gosh, I tried quitting. Like, holy shit. I've got 30 days left, y'all. So
well, way to stick with it.
Yeah, so I woke up today and I was like, oh gosh, okay, I can do this. I don't have any more big events like while I'm doing this anymore. So right now I've had to reset and like ease up on the workouts. I'm still doing them, but I just am not running like crazy. And I don't know, I've got to work on sleep, but it's fun. I try it. I lost 10 to 15 pounds, inches. I'm like the most leanest, shreddest I've been. But I said at OCR Overload, it was funny. Everybody was like giving nice compliments and saying how good I look because I'd gotten a bit heavy. And I was like, well, they're pretty muscles right now, but they're not functioning because the low rig got me. And Ashley saw me on Gibbons. I was so frustrated. That is the craziest obstacle. I don't know. You and I like tried back to back really fast, I felt like, but it was frustrating. The tiniest movement would make you fall. And I felt like I was doing nothing wrong. So yeah, but my muscles are there. They need to be trained. So 75 Hard, go to the website, look it up, get the book. I've got highlights on my Instagram, like following the entire journey with more details about the book and the books I'm reading and all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, it's cool, but investigate it before you do it. Don't just follow social media and then do it.
And if you need more nonfiction books, I have about 6 books I can recommend that are sitting in a stack.
Oh yeah, I will, because that's what I shared my Amazon list, And I've been like, the author of the program, Andy, has a recommended list. And then I read With Winning in Mind, and the author of that, like if you email him, he sends his list. I don't know. It's like, that's why I want to keep it up. I'm hoping it builds and keeps these habits. Like, I'd like to not drink as much and not eat as bad, but I'm like ready to, indulge a bit, but continue the other good habits that it has instilled. So we'll see. Cross your fingers for me.
Well,
Definitely.
Sounds like you're getting some pretty good results out of it. And whether you go all 75 days or call it early, I mean, I think you've gotten some substantial change out of it. So that's good. It sounds like you want to make it to the finish. So
I do.
I
feel like I'm
going.
going to let myself down, and I don't, not like that I let others down because they don't care, but like others that have been watching would be like, way to go, Brennan, you failed. So not that they'd say it, but that's what I'm telling myself. So I'm sticking with it for now, y'all.
And I know when Leah did it last year, I mean, she looked phenomenal after, I mean, like every time she posts every couple of weeks, she posts a couple pictures, I'd be like, what is happening right now? So.
Well, and that's what's insane is that like she did, I'm pretty sure 356 days, like, or 65, how many are in a year? 365, no restarts because it goes on and they like add other tasks like cold showers and I'm good at 75, y'all. more power to all those crazy people, but it's like, Evan, you do crazy things. Gary just did, awesome. Woohoo. Yay, y'all.
Did you still run like 40 or work out the day before the race?
Yes. So yeah.
That's a bad idea, but yeah.
Well, that's what I did. I would do like 45 minutes light jog. Dog walks for a lot of it, like I power walk anyways, or I'd put on my weight vest and do the 45-minute walk outside, or like rest days, I did 45 minutes of yoga. So there's ways to, like he says, don't kill yourself with the training. Like I'm not going 2 a days hard everyday things. So there's ways around it, but you just, do it with a purpose, dedicate the time, don't shortcut the minutes and stuff. But yeah, that's what it was like. Before the race, I was good before KC Timber Challenge because that was the first one. And then the week after that, my recovery, like my whoop strap was just like, I was bad. And then traveled to Florida, OCR overload. And I basically haven't recovered since. And I'm still working full time on my feet, like 9 miles a day at the restaurant. So yeah, it's wearing me down, but I'm excited about it.
Gotcha. Well, let's get into more health topics. So I know Ashley just had our first InsideTracker, and if you're not tracking with InsideTracker, essentially it's a service you pay for, and then you get your blood drawn at a Quest Diagnostics lab someplace local, and they basically do everything from you from there, and they send it in, and you get your results back super quick. So, Ashley, give us a little bit more details about that experience and kind of what you learned from it.
Yeah, so it was actually super simple to get registered and everything. InsideTracker sends you essentially like a, prescription, for lack of a better word, for the blood draw. And then I was able to book at Quest Diagnostics. And it is a fasted test. So try to book first thing in the morning if you can. So I think I got my test from InsideTracker on like a Monday or Tuesday, and then I found a Friday opening early in the morning, and I had my results by Sunday. So from Friday to Sunday to actually have the results of my blood draw. So yeah, it was a super quick turnaround time. I was really shocked. And
that's what mine was like at Christmas time, and right the week before Christmas, it was like 3 days, just like yours. I was like, whoa.
Wow. Yeah, I think everybody I talked to said like the turnaround time was just super quick. So that is a good thing. At least it's not something you're waiting to find your results. So yeah, I went to Quest, got my blood drawn. I think they took maybe 3 or 4 vials of blood. And I also opted for, they have like a DNA test that you can add on where it uses your DNA in addition to your blood report to be able to tell you your genetic risk and then versus your actual risk. So what I mean by that is, like, for example, from my DNA, which is actually from a previous 23andMe that I did a few years ago. You can download your profile from 23andMe, and then you just upload it to InsideTracker, and they can tell you these certain factors based on your genes. So, for example, for my genetic risk, I have an elevated risk of high cholesterol, and my actual blood analysis shows that I do have high cholesterol, which I kind of already knew that I was borderline high. Both of my parents also, despite, eating healthy, exercising, and doing all the right things, they both also have high cholesterol. So that was one I just thought was really interesting, because it is said I was at a high risk. It turns out I am. So yeah, I thought doing the DNA add-on with it also was really interesting.
And what is it? Do you remember, was it like 43 biomarkers they check or something like that? Like biomarkers as in like what they're looking for that we're tracking? I think it was that many. It was a lot.
It depends on the plan you buy. So that, the ultimate plan is like 43. I think the smaller ones have like 23.
16
or 16
or something. Okay.
That sounds about
yeah.
right.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
A lot of them, like when you go to the ultimate test, there are some biomarkers, like when it shows up, I'm like, I don't even know what this means, but it is super easy to read, right? Because it has like green, yellow, and red ranges that are on a chart, and when you click on stuff, it explains what it is, and then it explains how to fix it, right? So it's super user friendly.
Yes.
So it's not like you need a nutritionist or a dietitian or a personal trainer to like guide you through it. The software does the work for you.
Do you have iPhone? Because they have an app for the iPhone.
Yes, I do have the app.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not cool. The app. I have Android and they're working on it.
Oh. I do have the app. Yeah, and like you said, Evan, it does give you like recommended things, like depending what which markers are out of range. It tells you different foods you can eat to help correct those issues, as well as they have like a bunch of different recipes and stuff. So, if you see something on the list that you're like, I don't know, I've never eaten, I'm just making this up, I've never eaten a kumquat, I don't know what to do with it or how to incorporate it into my daily, food choices. They have recipes and stuff too that can help you incorporate the different recommended foods. So that I think that was super, super helpful. Like you said, you don't have to be an expert. You can learn from the materials that they give you. And one of the things that was, I guess you could say, alarming about my test is that my white blood cell count came back extremely low. It was, so they have like 3 different, well, I guess you could say 4 different categories. They have like the very low, the optimized, and then the high, like different ranges where you fall in. And basically my white blood cell count was almost as low as the chart goes. So I had posted on Facebook, and a bunch of my friends who are in nursing and stuff were like, eek, that's like very, very low. You should probably get that checked out.
And if anyone needs a quick biology lesson reminder, like that's your immune system. That's what's the white blood cells was fighting things that are getting into your body. So obviously,
yes,
a concern, especially during the past year and all the pandemic stuff.
Exactly. That was one of my first thoughts, was like, man, what if I get COVID and I have no immune system? So I did end up going to a oncologist/hematologist who I had seen previously when I had some platelet issues when I was pregnant. So at least I had a connection. I went back to visit and just, I was able, they have a way on the InsideTracker program where you can take your results and you can share them like with your doctors. So if they wanted to see the results, you can send those to your doctor. So I took the results with me when I went to the doctor and was able to share with them what InsideTracker found. And they did a blood draw as well when I was at the doctor and called me with my results last week. And luckily, my white blood cell count was normal and back within range. So they don't really have an explanation for what happened. But they did say if I do have another blood draw and I see something weird with my white blood cell count, then definitely come back in. They did do a closer look at my blood cells just to confirm I don't have leukemia or anything like that based on my previous blood draw. So the good news is everything is good. They said I'm healthy. I may not be at the optimized level that InsideTracker targets for athletes, but I am at least within range for your average healthy person. So
yeah,
good news.
That's crazy that you can go in for something athletic based and then find out theoretically like some sort of serious problem. Luckily it was nothing for you, or hopefully it still remains nothing, but yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, that could have been a crazy way to find out like of a serious health issue. So I'm really glad that I went through and did the InsideTracker blood work.
Brenda, I'm tracking you had InsideTracker done recently too, didn't you? Give us a 1 minute rundown there.
So it was my second time to do it, and I did the full shebang. Not the DNA, but just like the full biomarkers. And I kind of did it coinciding with starting this challenge and the new season, and having crap last year. I wanted to see what needed work. So it's kind of cool. It just pointed out like simple things, vitamin D. So I changed up some just supplements. I got a liquid soluble vitamin D drops. The cool thing, like that it's so user friendly, like I don't have the app, but the website's still user friendly. You can set up reminders every day that help you remember like what you need to work on, or the tasks that you set up to help your heart rate and different things. That tells you things you can do, and so you can set up a reminder to do that for the day. It comes like text message or whatever. So it's very user friendly and gets you to actually interact with it. And then they're always posting valuable information. So I mean, once you get involved or just start following them on social media, not only do you get the blood work going and doing that, but they're informative information and things like, today I read something about women especially, or like multivitamins. Like you don't need to take a multivitamin. You need to focus on like what you're actually lacking or deficient in or have too much of. So doing the blood work, I know that I need vitamin D. I don't need to take a multivitamin and get too much of something else that I didn't need. And it's just like cool. I mean, you take what you need and not extra stuff, and it helps you understand that and learn that. So this was round 2, and it, things different. It shows you and tracks your previous blood work with them. So like I could compare how my other test went, and this was over a year ago, and see how things changed and if I got better or worse in certain things or stayed the same. And then it tells you, like, sets up a reminder for when to go back to test again. I think it's like 3 months is what they recommend. And again, as athletes, I feel like we're kind of data geeks and nerds. It's not just for athletes. It's for anybody that basically wants to learn more about what they need to be healthier. But I feel like as athletes, that's what we are, obviously, that we're like, we want to see the data or know the data, and it mentally helps us think we're doing better or be better. Like for me, at least, I like to see it to kind of do it and put it into plan. So it's really cool. I recommend it. And they're doing, follow on social media, Instagram, InsideTracker. They've got lots of like giveaways and contests and sales and all that stuff to get you signed up. I know Ashley and I had a friend that followed both of our stories, and she got signed up and had her test results last week, and is doing work on things. So that's exciting to see people like bettering themselves with it. Right
on. Now, before we get into some of my topics that I wanted to cover about me personally, big news in the OCR world is technically not a new series, but a new collaboration, we'll say. We got Sydney Morris from Battle OCR and David Mainprize from Conquer U/Conquer the Gauntlet coming together.
Young Lions.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Young Lions. That's right. coming together to essentially do a new adult race series. So it's 4 races. I know you got Brenna. You just did a deep dive on BroCR podcast, their supercast there. So
yeah, they did that today, aired it today. What's the date? When is this coming out? The 16th. So find their podcast from the 16th of February.
Yeah, so we're not going to dive deep into it. Give us a 1-minute spiel on why we should all be excited for this epic event or epic series of events. Brenna, go ahead.
Yeah, so he's asking me because, I'm back and employed with OCR again. Woohoo. I am your team bold for Battle of the Lions. I am going to be running up the ambassador program. So start sending messages if you are interested. I'll have more information. But basically, if you love the sport, we're getting y'all back to racing, back to fun. Dave and Sydney have combined brain powers, which is a scary thought. And it's a tour, an OCR tour. There's 4 battles. That means there's a grip battle, a strength battle, an endurance battle, and your standard battle. And basically that's 4 different events, 4 locations. DFW Dallas is in May, and then Kansas City in June. And I know Little Rock's in October. I have to check my dates, guys. This information just came out last week after Super Bowl.
Yep.
But yeah, so battleofthelions.com, and it's got registrations open. People are already registering. Basically each location, so there's like a grip course at Dallas. It's not going to be like, we don't want to scare you away. It's not just grip. It's not just monkeys and ninja stuff. Like there's a little of everything, but focus on grip. We got a bunch of Force 5 cool things. There's going to be awesome prizes. It's unique because by the end of it, there's going to be like a point series, if you go to all 4 events, and then you combined points from this one and that one. If you went to all 4, you get rewards for that. There's awesome swag. There's different swag for each one that you pick. There's a special, we're going to take care of the elites, the open wave, lots of brand sponsors coming together. It's great. It's fun. We just want to bring back to racing. Events are happening. Lots more information will be rolling out. So, people are like asking questions, but they're excited. But basically go to the website, go to Facebook.
Yeah, give them a like
videos
on
every
Facebook.
day.
Yeah, give them a like on Facebook and a like on Instagram. Like Brenna said, they got a lot of stuff rolling out. I know Dave's been talking to me offline about some other things they're working on. So there's a lot of really cool stuff coming, and it's it's not just for the elites. I think everyone will find a good place in this community moving forward. And
that's it. It's like we've got someone designated to the tour weekend. So the race is not going to be just the race. Like we're going to, have planned dinners and events before and after gatherings. Make it like it's an event, not just a race, which is awesome. And because I'll be racing and get to compete and so excited about the elite side. There's a shirt and awesome like button swag shield thing, open waves. It's fun. And then the more that register, the better the prizes, if that makes sense, the prize pool. And by saying that, it's just like, I'm a racer. I want to show these brands that we want to race, the community. Like, we've had a year of terrible stuff. Let's show the brands that we care, that like we want them around. So let's go race and get people to sign up. And we, as elite racers, want to be rewarded and want to like get better, cooler swag and prizes and awards. Then we have to go show up and bring our friends to show up too. So it's like it brings the community together, and I'm excited, clearly.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And then one of their events, the more people that sign up, they just keep adding obstacles to the course, right? So like every 100 people that sign up, they just throw another obstacle on there. So you could have, it starts at like 30, and it can go up to however many people sign up, which is pretty wild. So
different concepts, and it's like evolving, coming out, rolling out to keep you guessing, and who knows what. If you've been, there's gonna be like world championship obstacles because we've all been together and worked around, and like Brett Stewart is kind of like he was the brain that introduced Sydney and Dave. So just it's awesome. It's good for the sport. It's good for the racers. It's good for the community.
All right, so head over and listen to the BroCR Supercast. They came out on February 16th, And we'll be releasing more information about that later in the year. And we'll also eventually get Dave and Sydney on at some point and pick their brains. But we'll give them a little more time for some of the events to roll out and some of the other products to come out. All right, let's jump into some 2021 charity event, right? So I've been doing Ultra OCR charity events every year. So my idea for 2021 is, which if you're following, again, Facebook, you've seen, it's called OCRmill 21,000 feet. So I am doing a Ultra OCR on a treadmill, kind of like I did for OCRmill. 1 mile on the treadmill, 4 obstacles. It'll be at Modus Ninjas Gym in Kansas City. So an awesome ninja gym, home to Donovan Matoyer, the classy ninja, who's phenomenal. Just, amazing to watch him compete and then actually train. So that's where we're going to be doing it. And the twist here, again, a 6-hour event. I'm doing it attached to a hypoxic generator, right? So the hypoxic generator simulates altitude. So it's like I'm running on top of a mountain, right? So there's a severely reduced level of oxygen. I think it's like 25% of what is normally at sea level. So I'm going to be taking it slow, and I'll be monitoring my pulse ox, my oxygen saturation. I have like a pulse oxygen saturation thing that reads in real time and exports the data to a tablet. And so that's the plan.
How do you come up with this insanity?
It kind of builds on year after year, and
I'm saying you like keep topping yourself, and that's what, like, how do you get nuttier?
I've only got one idea left after this one for OCR, Ultra OCR, and then that's pretty much it. So,
but I'm sure when you're doing one of these crazy ideas, you'll get another crazy idea. Because, like, I feel like all the time you spend running, like, I don't know about you guys, but, like, best ideas tend to come when you're running, especially if you're not listening to music or anything else. You're just kind of existing in your own head. Like, I could totally imagine you doing one of these challenges, and have this, amazing idea just pop into your head. So I feel like you'll still come up with more than one more.
Well, that's what I said. He said he's got one more, but I said today in Strength and Speed team that one of our teammates, Gary Shaw, is like, I've now determined equivalent nut to Evan on these things. And I think there's going to be, like, Evan's got his last idea, but I think there's an idea that isn't just Evan's. The two of them together should do some crazy stuff and blow our minds. But that's later. I just get amazed by this.
So I'm going to be, as of now, I'm planning on going on obstacle running adventures and giving like a deeper dive into it. But it was when I started doing some research on it, I definitely, before I announced it, I did a couple of tests, and I was a little concerned, I'm not going to lie, for a hot minute, right? Because, you start reading in about like what happens to you at altitude and some of the side effects, and right, like the severe ones are like high altitude pulmonary edema and high altitude cerebral edema, right? Like your brain swells or like your lungs start filling with fluid, right? So it's
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Bad. That's about as bad as it gets.
Like the next step is like death, right? Obviously, and that's not good either. So, but we are doing it safe, and I've done a bunch of tests to kind of figure it out, and going to be monitoring things closely. But yeah, obstacle running adventures. I'm not sure. We're supposed to record, I think, the end of February. So the event is March 5th. Or I'm sorry, March 7th. Will your
dad be part of your crew?
He's not coming out for this one just because of all the COVID restrictions and stuff.
Yeah. Dang.
But so the cool part is, for anyone listening, is we're also doing because it's so kind of restricted with COVID, we're doing it as a virtual event also, right? So if you go to my Facebook page or Strength and Speed, or you can search for OCRmill 21,000 feet, you can see the sign up there. It's basically you donate $50 to Folds of Honor. Again, so I'm not taking any of that money. All that money is going to Folds of Honor, and you get a belt buckle. And you run your own version of it, right? So you don't have to be on top of a mountain. You don't have to do reduced oxygen. Basically, you do 1 mile and then 4 obstacles of your choosing. So whether you use one of the suggestions we have is using Play Out, the card game. So it's like an obstacle course race specific training game that you can use, or whether you use your home gym, or you find a ninja gym, or you go to your local park and use the playground there. But the idea is to do 1 mile, 4 obstacles, repeating for 6 hours. And I'm determined, I'm calling it loosely competitive, right? So Obviously, some people can do really hard obstacles and push themselves really hard. Other people can completely, half-ass it. But the idea is for everyone to get in some good aerobic training at the beginning of the season. And it's 6 hours. It seems super long, but depending on how hard you're moving, it's you can run for a little bit and then take breaks and stuff like that. So it can be a good solid block of aerobic training, even if you're stopping to rest for an hour or two in the middle of it. But whoever gets the most miles, so basically if you donate $50 and do the event on your own time, you get a belt buckle we're going to mail to you, which is awesome. The designers did a phenomenal job. I sent them this completely Bush League design. It was hot garbage, and the guy sends me back this like metal mock-up, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is amazing. So definitely check that out. They're the same guy who did the buckles for OCR America too. So it was like the multi-layers of, fine details. And then whoever gets the most miles, right, men and female, we're going to do, so you get their standard participation buckle. You'll also get like a gold, bronze, or silver version, right? So depending on how
I want the shirt.
Oh,
I don't want to do any of the stuff. I just want the shirt.
There's no shirt for this one.
Oh, wait, am I is that a top secret? Never mind.
No, you're confusing other shirts. So we got so much stuff rolling. I mean, we're so busy. We're super busy over here at Strength and Speed. As we're recording this, we're announcing people for the 2021 development team. So anyone that applied and we picked one by one, we're kind of announcing them on our Facebook page. And then on top of that, the shirt, it's pre-order only, right? So this is basically if you order ahead of time, you're going to get a shirt. But I'm not producing extra because if you listen to one of my other podcasts, apparel sales are not good business to be in. So, so it's basically made to order. So there's a shirt. If you go to the Strength and Speed website, you can go head over there and order it now. It's a female tank top, and it's got the big Strength and Speed logo on the front, and on the back it has a quote from Joan of Arc. It says, "I'm not afraid. I was born for this." So super cool shirt. I really like that quote.
It shows off the what are those muscles? Lats, the back are beautiful wings, and they're deltoid things. Yeah, it's pretty. And it's periwinkle. It's a pretty blue. Goes great with my eyes.
Yeah, so head over to teamstrengthspeed.com, the online store, and you can order that shirt. Again, you don't have to be part of the team to order it. If you enjoy this podcast, if you enjoy the books, the articles, if you just like the memes I post on the Strength and Speed Facebook page, right? It's just a cool slogan and
cool I like shirt. The logo, wings and barbell.
Yeah, I've had people who I've absolutely people have never met and they've never contacted me again. Order some apparel, not very often, but it happens, and they're repping it someplace on the other side of the world, and I don't know what's going on over there, but yeah. Good stuff.
That's awesome.
So, head over to teamstrengthspeed.com. You can order that shirt. Should we get into the final big news?
Might as well.
Yeah.
So I was going to say...
How has this not happened before is all I'm saying.
I was going to save this for the podcast, actually, and then we kept pushing this episode back, and then I got tired of waiting. So, because I've known for about 10 days before I posted it. So the other big news for 2021 is I'm competing on season 13 of American Ninja Warrior. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And if anyone wants to be on the show, I highly recommend just hiring Bobby Ross from Stoke Shed to do your video. Because
have you posted your submission video yet? Can you do that?
I don't know if I can do that. I think you can.
People always do. I want to see because that's got to be legit from him.
Yeah, people definitely always do.
So here's what's wild though. I took footage that Bobby had laying around and I used that and then 2 minutes of me running my mouth and that was it. That's how good his videos are. It's
the video that because that's what gets them. That it's always about the video editing. I feel like not that you're not qualified and worth it and a story for it because it's all you have to have a cool story too. Which you're gonna be badass. It's gonna be awesome.
So people are unreasonably excited about this. I posted it on Facebook, and like I was driving, like I was at the gym actually. Posted it, got in my car, drove home from work. I drove home from the gym, so I'm like, 30 minutes later, I have like 150 likes, and my social media feed's like blowing up, and I was like,
well, don't you feel like your story that they're gonna show? I mean, I feel like they have to show your story. Like they show the sappy stuff, but yours is like the American true badass hero. I mean, people have to know your story by now, reading your books, but like. It's cool stuff, and like right now, America wants to see like a cool badass hero, and you can actually do the stuff. So I mean, come on,
yeah,
you're gonna be on TV, man. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna see you. If not, then you'll just have a really cool experience to tell us all about.
Yeah. I'm just excited to go play on the course. I think that's like I'm just super excited to play on the course. To be honest with you,
You know anything else yet? Like when or where? Oh, you can't say that. I guess like when you film or where you go.
It's in about a month and a half, and it's in Washington State. So.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So
Cool. Well, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, people from out of the woodwork are commenting on my Facebook profile. It's slightly unnerving.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah.
It's
And
all
then,
good.
Like if you've listened to some of the ultra OCR main commentary that we've released, right? Like my military friends are like, "Don't F this up, you mother," and like they're like angry messages at me. I'm like, good, all right, yeah, no pressure there. So either way, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I'm doing a little more. Yeah, obviously OCRs, the obstacles are a lot easier, but I have to do them a lot versus Ninja. These are explosive and dynamic movements that I usually don't typically train as often because. Right, like if I don't need to do a flying, bar lache, right, where I take the bar with me for an OCR. So I just gotta fine tune some of my training. So that's really what I've been working on. So besides the OCRmill altitude specific prep, I'm doing Ninja stuff, and basically that's pretty much it for the next 2 months. Yeah.
Sweet.
Reference Ninja Warrior, right? So I designed the logo for the Ultra OCR Man, the shirt I'm going to wear on the show. So that's available in the teamstrengthspeed.com store. Again, same thing with the women's tank. This is a made to order shirt, right? So I'm only doing this, or I'm only ordering the shirts once. So you gotta buy it ahead of time, and then it'll ship mid-March to you. So
that's the one I was talking about. I want because it's like. I mean, I'm getting the girls one, but that one, it's got the photo, like the picture of you holding your gun and then like swinging from an obstacle on the words, right?
Yeah. And so it's got a picture of me when I was training. I got my M4 up, and then it's like a silhouette, and then it says Ultra OCR Man. And then from the A, it's supposed to be, the A's like Stairway to Heaven. And I'm hanging from the bottom of the A, like it's Stairway to Heaven. And then on the back, it has a T.S. Eliot quote. "Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go." Cool.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to look for it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've shared it to that group yet. So it's on the website right now, and by the time this publishes, you'll see it in feeds, so you can order it directly off of teamstrengthspeed.com. All right, cool. Let's start wrapping it up. A lot of content this episode. Tell us one thing people would be surprised to know about you. Brenna's super excited because she wants to go to bed. What do you got?
Well, it's not that I'm super excited about it. Crap, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm laughing because it's not something that you wouldn't know, but because of 75 hard, and I joke about like old lady status right now, drinking a gallon of water a day and 8 cups of coffee pretty much a day, going to the bathroom often, and I wait tables, so it's kind of tricky. You don't really get a break. I haven't wet my pants at work yet, but full disclosure to tell you, I have definitely wet my pants once while running, and then I have had to pull over on the side of the highway in the middle of nowhere twice now, because all of my driving, I have to go about 30 minutes anywhere, and that's about my max window I have in between bathroom breaks.
That's terrible.
That's why I was wanting to wrap it up, because I was like, I got stuff to do.
Really selling people on the 75 hard. Really selling people.
But there's this whole, we have a group, and I posted, I was like, am I the only one that's having this issue? Luckily, I'm not. But, I mean, really, it's a lot of water, and then the liquid, yeah. So, woohoo, no shame.
Ashley, what do you have?
So this is super, I don't know, nerdy and weird. But I recently discovered penny shopping, and it's at Dollar General. You can find like hidden out of like old items that ring up for only a penny. And so it's like this new recent kind of strange
Is that
hobby
how you
I
had
have.
like 100 things for your kids from the dollar store?
It's not the dollar store, dude. It's
I mean-
Dollar General. But yeah.
He's a
Oh,
general.
yeah.
Treat him with respect.
Sorry. Sorry, I mean, that's all I have in my town is the Dollar General. But no, like I think you went on the OCR overload or one of your trips. You stopped at the store and you made a picture, and I was like, "How did she get that much?"
Yeah. So it's if you follow the freebie guy on Instagram, he sometimes posts about this penny shopping. But like, yeah, I got like a ton of sets of like Tonka truck Legos and picture frames and like all kinds of just random like packs and packs of washcloths and stuff, and like everything's only a penny. So it's like, I don't know. I got even like yoga blocks. The other day I came home with 6 yoga blocks. I don't even yoga.
I don't care. Are you gonna be a hoarder? Like your house is gonna be full of just shit that you don't need because you got it for a penny?
I'm afraid that's gonna happen. Yeah. So that's my random confession, I guess you could call it.
You're a master shopper, Ashley. I always see you posting deals. So you're also a good person to follow if people are looking for good shopping deals.
Well, thanks. Just don't send them to my store because I don't want them to find my pennies. Okay.
So the other funny thing is when I stayed with Ashley when I was doing the last time I did a Tough Mudder, which is the last one in the U.S. Her kitchen is set up just like my kitchen. Like, so I get up in the middle of the night to look for something, and they're asleep, so that I can't ask anyone. I'm like, well, where would my wife put this in the house? And I was like, oh, it would be over here, and it was in the same place. Like, and it happened like
actually,
2 or 3 times.
I think guys don't realize that like it must be a girl thing. There's kind of like spots that you put certain things.
No, and it wasn't me. It was definitely Dustin. I don't put stuff anywhere. So it's not a girl thing.
Do you have like certain things like the coffee mugs or like the plates are in vicinity to the dishwasher? Like, does he have it set up to where you unload it and they're like that, or is it totally random and you and Evan have this weird connection somehow?
I feel like Evan is just good at finding stuff because I can't even find stuff in my own kitchen. So I'm going to have to give him credit on this.
So I've also never been to a Dollar General until another Tough Mudder when I went with Christina Armstrong, and that's where we stopped because it was the only place available before she made me sleep in a trailer for the night. Oh, no, a camper. I'm sorry. It wasn't a trailer. It was a camper.
Hey, what's wrong with the trailer, dude? I live in one.
So, and then for a random story, I'll go with so when I'm going to go with another Iraq story. So normally, if I'm on patrol and I have to use the bathroom, we'll literally just go into someone's house and be like, ask to search their house or ask to stop by their house and then actually use their bathroom while we're while we're in their house.
Oh my gosh.
During one time though, we were in like the southern part of the city we were in, and it was like an industrial area, so there's no like houses. There's got to be bathrooms somewhere, but I don't know where they are. And I had to go number 2, so I found an abandoned, like, falling, crumbling structure, and just like took off my body armor and just dropped one in the corner, and went about my patrol. So it happens.
That's awesome.
It happens.
I guess I should have told the bathroom story, but my mom will be ashamed of me.
I feel like as racers, we've had a few episodes of bathroom stories, so it's okay. You don't have to share all that.
I get a pass. Mine was actually okay.
Go for it, Ashley.
I was just gonna say mine was actually cross country when I was in high school. We had a cross country meet, and the only place to go to the bathroom before the race was a Wendy's that was kind of up the street. So we jogged to this Wendy's to use the bathroom. And, I was trying to do like pre-race rituals, but like it was a public restroom, so I wasn't going to sit on the seat. So I went to the bathroom and it hit the seat and rolled out.
Oh my God.
And
it's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you decided to share.
And I left it there.
You're the worst. Oh man.
So my apologies to everybody who worked at that Wendy's.
Goodness. Oh man.
Oh my God.
I'm crying over here.
That's amazing.
Sorry. I'm
okay. All right. We're gonna get going. Final shout outs before we go. Ashley, you can go first. Besides Wendy's.
Yeah, and no shout out to Wendy's today. I just want to give a big shout out to Conquer the Gauntlet and them having us as their pro team for all these years. And I am very much looking forward to their 10-year celebration event this summer.
Yeah. Labor Day weekend, right? September 4th, 5th, 6th or something like that?
Yep, correct.
All right, Brenna, what do you got?
So I just announced and found out and super excited. So shout out to returning to be ambassador and represent for Venga CBD and
I'm still thinking about it.
I know. And Beast Goodness sunglasses. I know, she's killing me, literally. But yeah, so Beast Goodness sunglasses and Venga CBD, awesome companies to represent. And geez, Ashley, you win.
Let's go back to penny shopping.
The more I think about it, the funnier it gets.
I don't know what's funnier, that it happened or that she left it.
Or that I told you guys.
There's no good solution. There's no good solution once that happens.
Maybe when you like reach under and grab it and then walk out.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm totally telling everybody to listen to this episode
Oh
because
my
of
goodness.
that. Sorry, everything else.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me hold it together for a minute. Okay. Yeah. So like we covered earlier, head over to teamstrengthspeed.com. The 2 pre-order shirts are available. The Joan of Arc one and the Ultra OCR Man one. And then OCRmill 21,000 feet. Please donate to that. Again, all the money goes to Folds of Honor, scholarship money for children whose parents were killed or wounded in action. Then follow. We're going to do some giveaways on the OCRmill 21,000 feet fundraiser page. So I would donate $1 at least, so you can get alerted to the fundraisers when they the giveaways when they come up. Okay, I we're gonna get going.
Good plan.
I miss you guys. See you
All right,
soon.
we'll catch you guys later. All right.
All right.
Bye.